Now that the City of Toronto allows every house to be converted into a multiplex of up to 4 units, it actually opens up a lot more investment options for us to consider. So, should you buy a ready-to-go triplex or opt for a smaller and cheaper house that you can top up yourself? Or perhaps maybe you should consider a single family home that's big enough to be converted into a triplex already without expanding the house, but still making significant upgrades. Now, major renovations and top-ups do require more money and time, but there's also the potential for more value-add returns. But which option actually makes the most sense in terms of return on investment? Now, in this video, we'll compare our options at a high level to tell you the answer. So if you're curious about this, stick around and let's start evaluating our options. Let's dive right into the first option. Say you want to buy a smaller bungalow for around $900,000. Now, it's not large enough to be converted into a triplex, so you will have to top up. Now, let's assume that the cost of the top-up ends up being around $500,000, which brings the total cost of the new triplex to $1.4 million. Now, market comps tell us that this property might now be worth $1.8 million, which is great. By doing the top-up, we've added $400,000 of value into the home. But now let's look at how much money is actually needed to do this. To buy this house with a 20% down payment plus closing costs, it actually comes out to around $210,000. Then we'll also need to fund the construction, which ends up being another $500,000. So all in all, we're looking at an investment capital of $710,000 to get everything up and running. Now, from an investment return standpoint, a multiplex might generate better than market cap rates at 6% plus a conservative 3% annual appreciation. So now, if we take into account everything included, value add returns, the total return over 5 years amounts to a very impressive $976,000, and that ends up translating to a 137% return on investment ROI based on our $710,000 investment capital. Now, realistically, $700,000 is very hard to come by. So another option might be to consider buying a turnkey triplex, which might seem like it's more expensive to buy, but because you can finance more of it with a mortgage, it actually requires less amount of money up front. So based on a 20% down payment plus closing costs, you're looking here at around $420,000 of investment capital. And that's $300,000 less than the top up. In this case, you might get similar cap rates and appreciation as well. And so using super rough calculations over 5 years again, that's $430,000 in total returns on $420,000 of capital. In other words, the ROI here is over 100%. So now this is actually pretty interesting. The absolute returns are obviously better with the top up, but a ready-to-go triplex ends up being a very good use of capital as well. You don't get the value add, but you also need much less capital. So this ends up making a great option with a much lower barrier of entry if you are looking for a triplex rental. Now let's look at the third and last option, something in between. The reality is that extensive builds like top-ups can be very expensive and they might not actually be the best use of money. So let's see what would happen if you find a single family home that's actually big enough to already be converted into a triplex. You still need to go through the process of getting permits and renovating it into 3 separate units, but a significant portion of the construction work is already done and can be financed. So let's say something like this on the market costs you around $1.3 million. You still have to put down $200,000 for upgrades, which ends up bringing the total triplex cost to $1.5 million. Now, again, the value of this build is $1.8 million, and so you make $300,000 in value add returns, which is actually really, really good. With the cap rate and appreciation over 5 years again, the total return here becomes $812,000. Amazing again, and you end up putting less capital compared to the top up at $500,000. So from an ROI standpoint, this option ends up yielding the best results with a 5-year ROI of 160%. So now, running through these examples, there are a couple of key lessons learned. Number one, not all sweat equity is created equal. Now, just because you are putting in more capital upfront, it doesn't automatically translate to better ROI. The key is to find the right balance of capital and value add. And in this case, taking on interior alterations instead of expanding the build structure turns out to be a much better use of money. The second thing is that turnkey investments actually make great options even though there's no value add there. They do involve less money, less work, and less risk as well, and you end up with a very stable, high cash flowing investment that provides better returns compared to many other investments out there. So after walking through all these examples, you might now be interested in homes where you can do what we described in option number 3, but you might not know where to start. Well, that's where our team comes in. We are a real estate sales brokerage focused on low-rise real estate investment opportunities in Toronto, and we'd be happy to assist you with the search and provide advice on how to make it happen. Just contact us to schedule a private chat. And if you found this video helpful, please do us a favor and hit the like button. You can also subscribe to our channel to stay updated on everything related to Toronto real estate, including market trends, housing policies, interest rates, and advanced investment tactics. Our team offers a comprehensive range of services to support you, from planning and analysis to sales, renovations, leasing, and property management. We've got you covered. So just visit our website or find us on social media to learn more about us. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.